Hello from the car park of the AXA Training Centre, which you may be able to see just behind me through the horrible conditions that we're experiencing on Merseyside today. Now, Jurgen Klopp's been speaking here today ahead of Liverpool's game against Sheffield United at Anfield on Thursday, and this game's taken on even greater significance because Liverpool know that they're now defending a lead at the top of the Premier League, and this thrilling title race continues with two big fixtures this week. Of course, Sheffield United on Thursday and then Manchester United on Sunday, so two big ones back to back for Liverpool to defend that lead at the summit. They want to stay there till the end of the season and give Jurgen Klopp the perfect send-off, won't they? Now, Klopp had plenty to speak about today, not just Liverpool's position, and as usual I'm here to sort of review his press conference and talk about the main talking points. And as ever, I always think that the best place to start is the team news. That Liverpool injury list is always a lengthy one, so always a lot to get into here. And actually, a bit of good news for once, a double boost for Liverpool going into this game against Sheffield United. We've heard from Jurgen Klopp today, and he's confirmed that Curtis Jones and Andy Robertson should be back in the squad to face Sheffield United. I mean, that is a major boost, not just two great players, two very, very important players to get back. But I think in the case of Curtis Jones, he's been waiting a while since that Brentford game, haven't we, when he got injured. It's been a lengthy period out for him, and he was such a crucial player in the early part of the season. So hopefully he can play a really vital role between now and the end of the season. And also, in the case of Andy Robertson, I'd say a huge surprise really that he's not missed more games. Now, of course, the injury he's got is an ankle turn that he did while he was representing Scotland over the international break. And of course, the way it looked on the pitch and you saw the replays of the injury, there's always a question that maybe even his season could be over if there was any ankle ligament damage or anything that maybe would require surgery there. Fortunately, he's escaped that, and it's more of an impact injury, a bit of a turn on the ankle, a bit of a sprain. And as I say, he will be back in the squad to face Sheffield United, which I think, represents a major boost. Obviously, Jurgen Klopp's been forced to get a bit creative in that left-back position, hasn't he, using Joe Gomez there. But I think having an experienced campaigner like Andy Robertson and a natural left-back, which is what he is available for the coming games is really important. And so a really nice boost to have both those players back coming into this one. Now, they're the only two who are going to be returning for this one, but we're not too close to getting a few more back as well, which Jurgen Klopp has been talking about today. He spoke about Diogo, Jota, Trent, Alexander-Arnold. They're both going to be in team training next week, or he mentioned maybe parts of team training, and we'll see what that kind of means for them. So it doesn't look like either of them has got a chance for the Old Trafford game this Sunday. There was a sort of given an outside chance of that happening in some reports, but it doesn't look likely. But still, going to be a huge boost to get them back next week. Such great options, aren't they, in various positions? So really good news if they can both get back. And he also spoke about Alisson, Becker, who's been out with a muscle injury for quite a while. Kevin Kelleher stepping in so brilliantly this season. He did mention about Alisson maybe being back in parts of team training, similarly to Diogo, Jota and Trent, but he did seem a little bit less certain about it. So I wouldn't be surprised if that's maybe parts of team training for Alisson next week, but maybe a wait till full training would be the week after that. But we'll have to see how things go. And of course, Liverpool not absolutely as desperate as they might be to get him back, because Kelleher's doing really well, so probably best to give Alisson as much time as he needs, make sure he's fully fit when he returns, and then again, that's another one, a huge boost to get him back. Now, there was even more injury news to get into, and some good stuff as well. Again, another positive, Stefan Bajcetic being reduced to just 2 appearances all season, hasn't he, with that adductor issue that he's been battling with. But Jurgen Klopp did say last week that he should be training with the under-21s this week, and he's confirmed that has happened. And he's also given us a further timeline that if Bajcetic continues to come through this week unscathed, as is expected, then he should be back in full team training next week, which again, I've said this several times on these videos. I don't think it's about Bajcetic maybe starting games between now and the end of the season. I think the stakes in those games are going to be far too high, but to have him as an option to bring off the bench to keep players fresh, and he can play all those midfield roles, can't he? He's available to play in any of those, so I think to have him there as an option to do that is going to be absolutely massive with the amount of games that Liverpool have got to get through between now and the end of the season. Of course, it's always going to be midweek, weekend, or for most of the weeks it's going to be that. So the more options you've got, the better. And I'll just round up the injury roundup actually with speaking about Joel Matip, who was actually talked about in the press conference. Seen pictures of him actually doing some running this week, and Jurgen Klopp confirmed that's the case. He said he's pain free now, and it's taken a significant step towards getting back into full training and back to full fitness. But he did say that he doesn't think there's enough time left in this season for Joel Matip to be an option for Liverpool, which is a shame. But I think got to think of his long-term health, haven't you? You don't want him being at risk of any recurrence or anything like that. So I think Liverpool are going to take the time with him, make sure he can get himself fully fit for the summer, and then honestly I kind of expect that he will be released at the end of his contract. But if he can get himself fully fit by then he's fit and he's ready, isn't he, to find a new club and hopefully gets a successful and a good move for him, because he's been such a great servant for Liverpool down the years. So good to see that he is getting close to full fitness now. Of course, it wasn't just all about team news in this press conference. A couple of other things I want to get through now. Of course, Jurgen Klopp was asked about the fact that this is a big week, and obviously that game on the horizon is Manchester United at Old Trafford, a really tough one, as Liverpool found out only a couple of weeks ago how difficult that fixture can be. And he was asked about, look, you've got a selection to make here, having played Sunday and then into Thursday. Is it in your mind that you've got to put a team together at Old Trafford on Sunday? Are you selecting maybe and thinking about rotation to get ahead of that now? Of course, Jurgen Klopp, I'm not really surprised by this response, but he did say no chance. Sheffield United deserves our full respect and they will get that. So all the suggestion is that he's going to pick a team to win this game, and then he'll see where that leaves him in terms of putting a team together for the weekend. So we'll have to see what he does. I mean, you may have a look actually on the channel. I'd advise you to go and pick out the team video that I did. I picked a team with maybe some rotation. It seems that Jurgen Klopp maybe disagrees with me, but go and have a look in that. I urge you to see what I picked out. Maybe let me know actually what you would pick for the Sheffield United game. Now, moving on from the game itself, obviously the context around it is massive, and it is that title race that Liverpool are in. And of course, he was asked about the fact that Manchester City and Arsenal both play tonight, so will he be watching that to see how the title contenders get on? And again, playing his cards close to his chest in terms of, doesn't really expect much from that. He's not tuning in expecting them to get beat. He said, I expect them to win. We just need to win our football games, which is fair enough. And I think what you would expect most managers to say in this position. They're not hanging on whether City or Arsenal can drop points for Liverpool. It's all about getting through and winning their own games, and that will ensure that come May, they will be top of the Premier League and be the ones lifting the trophy above their heads. And of course, Liverpool are now top of the table. They've been made the favourites to go on and win the title because of the results going their way on Sunday. Not just that win over Brighton, but Arsenal and City playing out a goal destroyer. Jurgen Klopp again was asked about this fact that, look, your favourites now, does that add a pressure? Does that make things any different for you in terms of how you approach things? And his response was this: it's nothing we're really aware of. One of the most important things to get through this period is to ignore the outside noise and be the best version of ourselves. So very much Jurgen Klopp keeping his head down, focusing on the end goal, which is just to keep winning football games. And if Liverpool do that, then they know that at the end of this season, they will be the champions, and Jurgen Klopp will get the perfect send-off and end his reign in perfect fashion. So hopefully that can happen starting on Thursday. Of course, I will be at Anfield to watch the game and obviously offer my post-match review here on the channel. So keep an eye out for that. And as ever, I'm going to ask, let me know in the comments how you're feeling about this game. Should there be some rotation ahead of that United game? Let me know what you think about that one and how you're feeling about how important this week is. Always good to hear from you. And if you can like and subscribe in the meantime as well, always really helpful. So thank you very much for that. And I will see you guys from Anfield.